Hey fellas, so what I'm going to be talking about right now is how to clean your weapon. There's not going to be much to it. Every weapon's different in regards to nomenclature, stuff like that, how to take it apart. But I say different. The concepts are all the same. Basically, you'll have a pin. Remove the pin. Slide comes off on a handgun. Rifle. It's a little different, obviously, because it's a rifle. But first and foremost, make sure weapon's clean, clear.
Yeah. Usually take your little finger, stick it in there, make sure there's no cartridge, stick it in here also, and just good protocol.
Magazine's out,
Yeah.
nothing.
If you can see light through the barrel and light through the magazine.
Right, okay. First things first, kit. They have so many different kind of kits, it's unreal. There's not much needed. This I usually use for my AR when I was in the Marine Corps, my M4. Run that through the bore. You can use it for this as well. I have the spray that's not as messy as the old CLP
Oh yeah.
bottle. So you could get this at, I got this at Walmart. You could get gun cleaning oil anywhere, Academy, Dick's, Walmart, Target. I think Target, not sure. A brush, it's your best friend.
That might be a stretch for Target to have gun cleaning
Right,
stuff.
yeah. A brush, not a wire brush, but plastic bristles. For the sake of being a pistol today, I mean, I have many things. This is almost a universal kit where you could use it for rifles, which is what I used it for. This was actually my kit I used in Afghanistan. I have various brushes and whatnot. Q-tips. I mean, anything you could put in here to help you clean it. Let's see what else I have in here. Yeah, lots of Q-tips.
Yeah, a clean gun is a happy gun.
It's a happy gun, right? So, one of the things, cleaning your weapon. Let me move this out the way. You don't want to over oil it. At least that's what I've always been taught. If you over oil it, mainly it's so it won't rust and just sit. But before you, like, let's say it's gonna sit for months, right? You ideally want to clean it every couple of weeks. There's really once a week or so, especially if you conceal carry or open carry, whatever. But if it's just a gun you shoot every once in a while at the range, that's fine. A lot of people like to oil it up a decent amount so it doesn't rust. But when you go to fire it, just pat it down, take it apart, maybe run some rags through it to kind of get all that excess oil off. Because generally you want to try and keep it lightly coated, right? I mean, That's how I've always done it.
You can tell students who have it overall because you're standing next to them.
You're getting sprayed.
And you get sprayed with with residue. If you carry it for your personal protection, your gun, you don't want to overhaul it because it's going to attract all kind of particulates. That's going to lint, dead skin cells, all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I tell you from combat side of it, we always kept them lightly oiled. Some people wouldn't even oil it because now mind you, this is extreme environment, sand. We're in the heat all the time. I personally kept it very lightly oiled, but even then, man, if you change your socks, chow, well, your weapon first, chow, and change your socks. That's basically kind of how it went.
Yeah.
Weapon was first at all times. But so what I'll do right now, kind of show you on every pistol, you're going to have some kind of pin release system on the slide. What you could do, let's see if I can do this. So on every pistol, you're going to have some kind of pin holding the slide in place. The most common thing to do is to be able to grab it at the end right here, and you kind of pull back right here. Some of them you could pull out with your fingers. This particular weapon, you have to kind of pry it out. Yours like that? Yours is like that as well?
No,
So
depends on the gun.
Yeah, just really depends on the gun. Right here, correct? Pins out. Like that, as we say in French, comme ça. Slide comes right off. There's not much to a pistol. There's your trigger housing. All that, a lot of that's going to be plastic. A lot of this is plastic inside. I'll put a little oil, but I mean, it's not metal, so you really don't have to put much of anything on there. Magazine well. This is where you make the money right here. So every pistol on the slide, you're going to have your spring mechanism, your rod, right? So mine stays in, a lot of them come out. And your barrel. Simple as that. This is all the breakdown that you will do on a pistol. This is a field strip. I mean, you're not going to do anything else. You're not going to take apart any of this. It's really an armor is really going to be the one messing with that. I've never messed with it. Pistols are really simple. What I do before I clean it, I'll just kind of wipe it down, try and get any kind of excess dirt, sand, especially this is my conceal, so you don't know, like it's going into your clothes. You can have lint from your clothes getting in there. Believe it or not, it will get in here, even though it's fully enclosed, right? Rust.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get like a dust bunny in the barrel.
Yeah, in the barrel.
If you don't take care of it more often.
Yeah. So I guess I could actually even use this. I bought this for a rifle. If you run anything through the barrel, you want to work from the back forward because of the rifling. Correct? That's what I would do.
Correct. With that, it's probably not a real big deal. It's anytime you use a brass brush or something like that. But it's probably better just to do it that way and get it cleaned up.
It doesn't take much. It's not traveling that far through the barrel. I'll wipe down the interior part of the slide. And like I said, guys, there's not much to this at all. A lot of plastic. So, oil. Where's my brush? Basically, I'll put a little bit of oil on my brush. I don't spray the weapon. The technique I've always used was just put a little bit on the brush and just kind of brush it out. And you'll get all the little sand and lint and all those particles that you get just from everyday carry that'll collect. Even if it's just sitting in your closet and not touched, it's going to collect.
Oh yeah,
it's going to collect. So let me put this right here. You don't need much. That can's lasted me probably 5 years.
May want to do it in a well-ventilated area.
Yeah, that's important.
Unless you want to huff.
I mean, we could wear masks, but
unless you're into that huffing paint and stuff.
Right.
But then again, you shouldn't be using that kind if you're a paint huffer.
So I'm just running now once again plastic, not wire. That's really idiotic if you're using a wire brush. So why nylon and not wire? It should be common sense. Wire, you're gonna scar up the inside. You're gonna take that coating off of it. It's gonna be shiny. As you could see, just the wear of the weapon being used, it breaks down. So could you imagine using a wire brush on this? I mean, that would be pretty
if you have
ridiculous.
like any kind of pitting from rust and stuff like that, you may want to use a wire brush, but use a brass bristle brush in those situations. But yeah, I'm with you.
So even though the exterior of the barrel is not really, there's nothing going on, I still like to put a light coat just as an oil protection so it doesn't rust. This being underneath your clothing and the heat of your holster, we're in Louisiana. In most places, there's gonna be some condensation that gets on it. You had yours that had a little bit of rust gather on it sitting there a little bit. So I will, after I clean that off, I will kind of lightly wipe it. It's still got a little oil residue on, and that's okay. That's fine. And remember, I ran the bore line through it as well, so I did clean out any kind of carbon or anything that was in it. I'm not worried about oiling the inside of the barrel. That's rifling. That's not going to really. Mainly what we worried about is the functioning of the slide, the spring, just the inner workings of the weapon. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead, just kind of lightly brush up with the nylon brush. It still has oil on it. I don't need to add anything more because I'm doing a light coat on my rails. This is a lot of plastic, so I'm not too worried about this. And if you could see, there's a spring inside where the magazine well is. I'm just going to inspect that and make sure I don't have anything kind of built up, any kind of dust bunnies or anything. That I always keep my magazine in it, so there's nothing much that really should get in there, if anything. But I'll run my brush in there just to kind of get anything that might be there. Another thing, magazine cleanliness. A lot of you guys probably have magazines that have been having rounds in it for months and months and months. I would suggest when you clean your weapon, go ahead, take all those rounds out, inspect the spring, make sure it's still got its bounce to it like it should. I could tell you, the lowest contract wins in the military, and all those magazines we constantly, every so often, take our 5.56 rounds out of it and go ahead and kind of check the spring, because that a lot of times that's the cause of a jam. Right. As well. It's not always the weapon, it's the actual feed from the magazine.
Yeah, a lot of times with in the armed services, you basically not load it up to full capacity.
Yeah, I think we go like five short or something.
Yeah,
I think I was putting like 25 rounds in a 30. Just so we didn't have that always compressed like that. And it's funny because I will do the same thing in my pistol. I don't carry full ammo that goes in there. I will spray the spring a little bit. I know I talked about a lot with the nylon brush kind of getting in there, but because of the way it is, some springs actually come off the rod. Mine it's all one unit. So I'll spray it a little bit and just kind of wipe it down. That's why I kind of like the spray though, because the CLP, if you had the old school little bottles like that, which is fine if you get it, it's fine. You use a lot less, and obviously I'm not making a big mess with the can. It's kind of, there's no inner workings with this spring either. It's just it's a part of the moving pieces inside the slide, so it's best to have it cleaned up. So now, I'm going to put it back together. Barrel goes in, and then, different manufacturers might fit a little differently, but it's all basically the same. This goes here, there's a little notch in your barrel. Spring's going to sit here, and the back end's going to sit in that little notch. Like that. Just make sure it's secure in there. Barrel's in place. And then reverse. Slide comes from front. If I can get it. Come on, Zachary. There we go. Right here, I'm gonna line the holes back up. There's gonna be a little tension once the spring touches the front. It's gonna give a little tension. So it's the same like what I showed earlier with your palm, like that, and just that's it. Back together. Function check. It's important. You want to function check it. Inspect it. Re-inspect it. Thing looks good to me. Looks good to you, right?
Yep.
Barrel's in place. Everything's secure. Good to go. No magazine. Once again, no magazine in here. I don't have it nearby for safety reasons. A lot of people, I suggest taking the magazine and just keep it in your bag or.
Yes. Yeah. Many people have been shot.
Yeah, cleaning
weapon. Guns. Yeah. So probably the most important thing is anytime
you always treat it as it's loaded. It's a weapon safety rule.
Exactly. Yeah.
And always point away.
Yeah. Always follow the 4 rules. But make sure that the ammo is not even present in the same room with you. It's better just to be.
If it's sitting here, I'm just gonna keep it open like that.
Yep.
To, make me have the warm and fuzzies that there's nothing in there. And fellas, that's it. That's it. You don't really need much for pistol cleaning. Now you start getting into your rifle cleaning. There's more to it. You're gonna use most of this stuff that I kind of talked about. You have different wire brushes for the bore, and you're gonna build up a lot more carbon in those rifles than you would in a pistol. I could tell you some in the military. They taught us, in boot camp, you're sitting there for hours cleaning your weapon. But then you get to the field, they give you these solvent baths, and it's kind of cheating. You're like, man, why can't I use this the whole time? But there's nothing beats the old school way of cleaning it. And plus, it helps you when you learn how the weapon functions. If you get yourself in a jam firing, you know how it functions, so you know what to do to get that round out and get that gun back in the fight. Got anything?
No, that's pretty much.
That's it. Nice and simple little gun cleaning. And no matter the weapon, the concept's still the same. You don't need to put a crazy amount of CLP or gun oil, whatever. I lightly coated it, and that was it. That's it.
Yeah. And look, here's we're gonna post it on the thing, but I'm just to show you what not to do with your gun here in the South.
Oh yeah.
Stick it in your holster for 3 months and not in the hot South where you're sweating and everything else. We'll post it up on the thing, but you don't want to do this.
Right. So
you don't want to be this guy.
Don't want to be that guy. It's a bad day.
Yeah.
Just to recap, I suggest if it's a weapon you're constantly going to have a concealed or open carrier, just use trying to be proficient, just training with it once every 2 weeks at least. Clean it, break it down, field strip it, clean it, reassemble, function check. Make sure that gun's always ready to rock if you need it. So whether it's training or self-defense. And we'll see y'all next time. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out. We really appreciate that. And we'll see you guys later.
Yes.